So these tapes have been spliced and diced, but they're worth a keep. And there were many, many more movies, but unfortunately they got burned up in the fire. So I'm just happy that we were able to salvage these. The kids are blessed to have pictures that are, 70 years old? That is Pulaski, Virginia, at Ada's house. And that would have been in the year 1958. Because I was pregnant with Susie and Cheryl and Mona. There's Monty with a little shirtless girl. Good gracious, can't believe that. That was our infamous car. People would die to have that now. We always had a suburban station wagon. The kids will always remember that. But that was literally the back of Monty's house, the back porch. That's Cheryl and Ramona, 1958. In their new little outfits and their rag dolls, running up and down the hill. And Monty lived at 612 Lafayette in Pulaski, Virginia. And this is her precious little dog, Teddy, that was your father's dog. And then this is the dog we bought from Michigan named Mela, and a neighborhood mutt. And Mela was a great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandson of Lassie. Now, this is Fredericksburg, Virginia. And this is 1959 because Susan, we moved there immediately when Susan was an infant. And she was born in March. So this is the summer. And that little boy's name is Dickie, and his father was in the Marine Corps. That's Susie with Cheryl and Ramona. Sweet little faces. In their sunsuits. I love those sunsuits. And now we're back here with the missionaries who were working on cars in our backyard. Yes, I do remember that day. I remember we camped out. We had a cottage. We stayed in for a week. And one of the girls, I think it was Mona, fell off the top bunk. Daddy took me deep sea fishing. No, he didn't take me deep sea fishing. He took me out in a rowboat and scared the daylights out of me because I don't like water. I think he was trying to get rid of me. Isn't that sweet? Look at that double chin. You'll get it again, Susie, if you live long enough. Oh, there's Miss Priss. Those are beautiful waves, beautiful cats. Go on the merry-go-round. What are those boats? I guess the choo-choo trains, fire wagons. That's my father and Larry messing around with each other. They tolerated. This is Christmas. I know this was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And at that point, I was pregnant with Rebecca. Those girls made it out like bandits that year. We got them everything. So that would be Susie and Lonnie, Daddy. And Cheryl and Ramona. And we're jumping all over. Susie had that habit of rocking back and forth, and she kept that habit all her life. I guess she's rocking back and forth because they were rocking back and forth on their chairs. There's Lonnie. She was very pretty. That looks like my mother and your daddy are shooting a gun. Now we're sliding down a slide. I'm sure that was in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm almost sure, because Mother came. But Mother came to visit every time I had a new child, plus in between, until Larry was born. Back in those days, we didn't have ultrasounds. We didn't know what we were going to have. Because I had 4 girls, she said, maybe if I stay home, you'll have a boy. She was sick that year. Dad loved to play with the kids. He loved his children. This is Susie Balkan. This is the Washington Monument, and I think this was your father. Yes, definitely that was your father. And we had gone there, traveled there to put my mother on the airplane. She had been visiting us in Fredericksburg. That would be me. The infamous White House. This is Susie walking again. And we did not have Huggies or Pampers. We wore cloth diapers, and we cover them up with rubber pants. And we washed diapers and hung them on the lines to dry, but a lot cheaper than Huggies. Cheryl and Ramona always liked to dance and swing. They're swingers. They're sweet. Crooked neck, crooked neck. And that's Leo the lion. Susie used him for a dance partner because Cheryl and Ramona wouldn't dance with her. Never wanted to be left out. Leapfrog. That was called leapfrog. Puffer belly. I looked wore out from hell. I guess I was. Throw those kisses. This is Ada, my father, and my mother. That was a loving touch that she gave him. And it was rare that my mother and father came to visit at the same time. Usually they would come at different times so one of them could maintain the business at home. So this is Becky. Susie in the high chair. Daddy and Cheryl on the left, Monty, my mother, and my father, my mother, and Mona. And she's gonna love this. She's gotta prove it's hot. Made a believer out of her, and she's sweet. And it looks like Mona had a short haircut, but her hair was pulled back in a ponytail. Daddy in his bathrobe. And that rocker paid for itself over the years. Cheryl and Ramona were usually dressed alike, and people did think they were twins. ride that thing. Now everybody has to be a believer, so here comes Becky. She's got to touch the candles too to make sure that they really are hot. Now they don't blow on cakes anymore because you spread germs. Now Susie has a partner to dance with, but I don't think Becky was interested. Back to her bouncing. Susie's found another partner. That was a no-no. Big old TVs that we had back in those days. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Oh, I had 2 legs too. I can prove I used to have 2 legs. Oh, I wonder your brains are loose. Nothing but hair. He had so much hair on his death certificate. It says he was, oh, I forgot the term, but the term means mini nipples. He had mini nipples. Doctors determined that. That was a purple dress.
You're singing happy birthday.
Yes. I'm glad you can't hear that audio. I was never a singer. Susie. This lady's name was Barbara. I do remember Barbara. And she was rich. I don't mean Barbara was rich. I mean Sherry and Mona were rich. They got $1. So this is Susie's birthday. And that's the dress that Susie wore when she lived in New Jersey. She was Little Miss New Jersey. No, she wasn't. She was Miss Asbury Park. She won the title for Miss Asbury Park. Yeah, I always made the cakes. We did enjoy the cakes. No store-bought cakes back in those days. Now, these elephants, I'm not so sure about. That's the year we took the kids on the safari to Africa. We were wealthy. Was that little Miss Becky? Yes, it was. And she was watching, but no, there's Mona. And we finally got Miss Becky up on one of the horses. There. Now, this is another birthday, and this is Becky, who was born on her father's birthday. Different place, a different year. And big, expensive ice cube grinder. That's how we had to make ice cubes. And you put the big ices in there for chipped ice. See, when I was a child, the iceman would come in a big truck and he'd have big claws, and he would get a big chunk of ice and carry it to the back and put in our ice box, which was 2 wooden partitions. And while he was out there, we thought we were thieves, but we would go to his ice truck and get the chips, eat the chips out, thinking he didn't see us, and he knew all the time what we were doing. Daddy loved to make faces. So those hats also served a purpose. That's a little guy named Sal. This is definitely in New Jersey. This is when we lived in New Jersey. Daddy acting like a smarty. Now this is definitely Cherokee, North Carolina, up in, what do you call it? Maggie Valley, yes. And at that time they put on the Wild West show for entertainment and to make money. The Indian powwow parade that they put on for us. That was really a good show they put on for us too. That was a live bear chained only to that pole. This is our home in Greenville, South Carolina. We first moved into there when Larry was probably maybe 2 to 3 months old. Daddy got a job in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and we lived in Greenville. My mother again came to visit shortly after Larry was born. I'm assuming all of these missionaries were in Greenville, South Carolina, which was really the first church we attended after we joined the church, because we moved from New Jersey to Greenville, South Carolina, right after we joined the church. So here we are in our Halloween outfits, and they got a lot of candy. And I had fun making those costumes. The cones, they were paper, like solo paper cups, cones that they put in the water dispenser. And I just covered them with the red for the horns. And there's Becky in the bunny costume. You know, you didn't have to worry about putting razors, people putting razors in the apples back then. Today you don't dare give them to a child. Larry in the chair now. Susie outgrew it. I'm not sure Becky outgrew it, or if I think we missed Becky in it. Larry getting his first haircut, a little pudgy. parents, Elder Sable and the girls, the 4 older girls, Cheryl, Ramona, Susie, Becky. And he was an adagio dancer in college. He went on his mission a little later than most missionaries. And on the left is Elder Holt, Robert Holt, who became a very productive potato farmer in St. George, Utah. That is my aunt's son. But the white here is Aunt Bella. Kathy's named after her. My Aunt Ida was on the right. The one with the glasses is my Aunt Ethel, called Pat. That's a lovely picture of my mom, and Larry, and Ramona. She loved that orange dress, and so did I. Susie, Sherry, and Becky. It's Elder Stephen Sable. Now this is Judy and my mother at the cemetery. At the airport. And this was in Greenville, South Carolina. My mother was pretty sick. I had just got her out of the hospital, and the doctor told me to get her home ASAP. And Judy didn't know it, and I didn't know really what the doctor was saying. But my mother died within a month of this picture. So that was 1963 that my mother passed away. And the choir girls, we throw them in there for good luck because I can't really tell you. Becky, you can't miss Becky's smile. That was the bishop's daughter. Wanda Ginn was her name. These are all a church picnic, all church members. A lot of fun, a lot of fun. Those are missionaries again. The missionary looks pretty comfy with Monty sitting in the middle. There's Larry in the background. Cheryl and Mona shared birthdays together because of their both November babies. For some reason, we always had a birthday. Definitely a Halloween party somewhere. And there's the Bobbsey twins, Neil and Noah. Noah had the biggest eyes, and she still does. Neil's were not too small. They were adorable. And I was nearly 8 months pregnant, into my 8th month, before I knew that I had twins. That was quite a surprise. I guess we thought it was cute to film them butt naked, I don't know. Ah, sweet Monica, JoAnn. Here we go now. Here's Mona and Cheryl. They were attending Bass High School and they were majorettes. And they could cut a number. They did very good. They were doing this at a church social. Bass's colors were blue and gold, so the tinsel was gold. I'd like to know what song they were swinging to. Okay, now JoAnn and Monica wanted to get in the act. JoAnn's got it right trying to get through her leg. That's so sweet. Boot, scoot, and boogies. That's Neil and Noah. Yeah, I love this one with their guitars. The paddle boats. But they were pretty independent because you see the ages of the kids and we let them go out there by themselves. So I'm sure they were tied in. But there's Larry and Steve. Their shoulder length hair. There's Ramona with the infamous orange juice cans in her head that she used for curlers. She slept on those things. And she did have long, beautiful hair. Can't believe we caught Ramona with those curlers, though. That was Deanne scooting through there, and that's Neil, Noel, and Lori. Stephen. Neil, they're all scooting about like a bunch of maggots. That rug on the floor is quite an infamous reminder to Larry and Steve, because as the years went by, Daddy was working nights, and the braid would come apart, and so their job was to sew that together, and they didn't particularly like that. Girls are dressed up for a church dinner there. We had just returned from Florida, and we put on formals. Could always find a swing somewhere. And I do know I was pregnant at that point, so, because I remember that maternity outfit. So, who would that have been? Lori. I guess I was pregnant with Lori then. I don't know what the kids saw. We'd say, wave to the camera, wave to the camera. Me in my striped pants, and I'm going to say Lori. That's the lift at Stone Mountain, Georgia. See, that looks like a little angel coming up. I'm not sure who that was climbing up there. I want to say it was Lori. Yes, that's Lori. That's correct. And then that's Kathy. That's correct. So that's the last of the Mohicans. And that's a beautiful scene. Everybody in the station wagon. That was a big joke. We would take the back seat out and put a mattress in. Everybody would sit on the mattress. Where there's a will, there's a way. We enjoyed taking these pictures. I don't know why we would have had a double exposure, but we weren't photographers, you know. We just had the camera, and you had to grab it and grow when you could. Today is my 88, feeling great. Next year I'll be 89, I'll be doing fine. And if you all preserve your belongings for 70 years, then kudos to you. But that's how long it takes, you know, to be able to find time to do something. And then that's why you have children and grandchildren, to have them do it.